Myself, Professor V.N. Chavan, Assistant Professor, KK Wag Institute of Engineering Education and Research, Nashik. We are going to discuss laser and optic fiber. Laser is acronym of light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. For interference, diffraction, polarization, etc., highly monochromatic, highly coherent, highly unidirectional and bright light is needed. And it is given by this stepwise mechanism of light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. This mechanism we are going to discuss. In this, the first property, how coherence is obtained. Coherence for a light wave are of two types. One, that is temporal coherence. Whenever light propagated in a particular direction, then along the direction of propagation, the distance between any 2 points or wavelength between any 2 points remains constant, then it is temporal coherence. On the other hand, the direction which is perpendicular to the direction of propagation of light and the wavelength along this direction remains constant. The second part, it is showing it is spatial coherence. Whenever light wave is in temporal as well as spatial coherence, then the light said to be the coherent light. Such highly coherent light is needed for the laser light. Further, whenever we consider the emission, it is whenever atom jumps from higher state to the lower energy state in the form of photon. For this purpose, the atom in the ground state is given energy equal to the energy difference between higher energy and lower energy. Then and then it absorbs energy and it jumps to the excited state. Such type of absorption is known as induced absorption. After this, the atom achieves the position in excited state but not remaining stable in that state, and it immediately spontaneously jumps to the ground state and spontaneously emits the energy equal to E2 minus E1 in the form of photon. This is known as spontaneous emission. This is not specifically monochromatic, coherent and unidirectional. Therefore, some energy, additional energy is to be given in higher energy state. Then using this additional energy, the atom jumps from excited state to the ground state with the emission of certain photon, and this emission having high coherent, high monochromatic and high unidirectional property. This is known as the stimulated emission. These are the properties achieved by the light that is known as stimulated emission in the form of laser light. The terms that needed to understand for this purpose, that is say ground state. Lowest energy state close to the nucleus with high stability and unlimited lifetime, it is a ground state. And the higher energy state away from the nucleus with high unstability and negligible lifetime of the order of 10 raised to minus 8 second is excited state. Within these two states there exists the state which is intermediate energy, more stable than excited state and less stable than ground state, that is known as the metastable state, having lifetime 10 raised to minus 3 second, and this is necessary for stimulated emission of radiation. In usual case, N1 number of atoms in ground state, N2 number of atoms in excited state, and it happens N1 greater than N2, that is known as population. But for laser action, we need number of atoms in excited state much greater than in ground state, that is N2 greater than N1, that is necessary for laser mechanism, and is called population inversion. The population inversion is to be achieved when some energy is given to the atoms in the ground state and they jump to the excited state. The process of raising number of atoms from ground state to the excited state to achieve population inversion is called pumping. Using optical energy, electrical energy, etc., the different types of pumping mechanism are taking place. The cavity formed by two mirrors used to keep the active system of atoms after population inversion is achieved. The laser action takes place that is known as a resonant cavity. Different types of laser, those we are going to study. One of that, the semiconductor laser. Semiconductor laser uses a layer of low band gap gallium arsenide and it is sandwiched between higher band gap material gallium aluminum arsenide. The refractive index of middle p-type gallium arsenide is higher than that of the n-type gallium aluminum arsenide. This is the PN junction diode whose two opposite faces are polished, forming resonant cavity, and one of its face is used to emit the laser light. Remaining two faces are roughened to prevent the leakage of laser light. Lead connections are provided in basic arrangement. In usual situation, we find the Fermi energy level in p-type is close to the valence band and in n-type it is close to the conduction band. But whenever heavily doped p-n junction diode with Fermi energy level below valence band in p region and above conduction band in n region is existing. Whenever such p-n junction diode with heavily doped p and n region is a forward bias with low forward current, it behaves as light emitting diode, and whenever high forward current is used, it emits the laser of highly monochromatic and highly coherent light. This is due to the electrical pumping. The active region is formed where electrons are accumulated at the top and the holes at the bottom, achieving the situation that the active region depletion region is increased. The electrons at higher location are jumping towards the holes for recombination, and due to this there is emission of photon in the form of laser light. It is represented in energy band diagram. Typical property of this is used in different cases, generally in optical fiber communication. Second type of laser, that is gas laser, it is CO2 laser. A mixture of CO2, N2 and helium is circulated in a glass tube provided with high voltage power supply. Water jacket and Brewster's window is also provided. CO2 undergoes population inversion through the collision with N2. The arrangement here showing the CO2 N2 helium inserted arrangement. The Brewster's window provides the prevention of a leakage of laser light. The mirrors on either side generating the resonant cavity which is used under specific condition. High power supply is for gaseous discharge system in this tube. In usual situation, when we find that nitrogen atoms receive energy from gaseous discharge, they achieve the higher energy position, that is excitation. During this, they collide with CO2 molecules and energy is transferred by collision, and this energy transfer taking place that the CO2 atoms are achieving the population inversion, the E5 energy state. The transition in this situation after the stimulation in the excited state of E5, there are two chances. One, that is a transition from E5 to E4 and the laser light having wavelength 10.6 micrometer is emitted. Other chance, that is say emission taking place whenever the CO2 atoms jump from E5 to E3 and 9.6 micrometer wavelength laser light is emitted. Taking into consideration the dimension of the tube, the typical condition of emission can be achieved with proper selection. The lasers are used in different purposes, and one that is say optical fiber communication, where optical fiber specifically used. Optical fiber is the transparent material. It consists transparent material for core, cladding and shield. The refractive index of core is greater than cladding and light propagates through it through the multiple total internal reflection without loss of energy. The second diagram representing how the light propagates through the optical fiber with multiple total internal reflections, and this causes the negligible loss of energy during this propagation. The data in the form of laser light can be propagated using this process. The optical fiber is to be studied taking into consideration how light propagates through it, and for this purpose we should know at what angle the light is to be made incident at the core. And for this, the angle of incidence at the core for which the light entering into the optical fiber and making an angle at the core cladding interface equal to the critical angle, then the angle of incidence is known as angle of acceptance. This angle on either side forming the cone shape, and with this there is a total internal reflection causing propagation of laser light easily with more chances and negligible loss. Such a cone is known as acceptance cone, and whenever this propagation is effective with a negligible loss, then the sign of angle of acceptance is known as a numerical aperture. It is equal to, say, sin theta 0 equal to under root n1 square minus n2 square, where n1 is refractive index of core and n2 is refractive index of cladding. The optical fibers are of different types dependent on materials, dependent on their internal and external arrangement, and dependent on refractive index. Dependent on refractive index, there are two types: step index and graded index. The optic fiber having core of fixed refractive index and abruptly decreases to the cladding, it is step index optic fiber. The light propagates through it along the axis, say slowly. The optic fiber having refractive index of core higher but gradually decreases towards the cladding is a graded index optic fiber. Light propagates through it in helical form. These are two diagrams representing: the first is a step index optic fiber and light propagation through it. The second, it is a graded index optic fiber and light propagation through it. The input power, it is input phase, it is represented commonly same, and as output it is shown in case of step index and graded index differently. The optic fiber is used for propagation of light, but light propagated through it with some losses due to their arrangement and their materials used. The power loss of optic signal during propagation through optic fiber is known as attenuation. The power loss is expressed, it is PL equal to minus 10 log to the base 10 P out divided by P in. It is in terms of power loss attenuation represented in this way. The factors affecting attenuation are absorption, scattering, radiation, and elements like coupler, connector, and fiber itself. Whenever optic fiber laid down into the ground, there are the chances of bending of optic fiber, and at the corner of bending it is found some energy is absorbed. Due to the absorption, this is possible. Again, the material of core having property to absorb some wavelengths of light, and therefore the absorption takes place. Again, at the bending of the optic fiber, the radiation also takes place, and due to this radiation there is a loss of power. And the elements like coupler, connector, these are used wherever necessary, and that joint causes some obstacles, and there is a loss of propagation of light. The original signal represented in the first position. Some attenuation takes place and the signal loss takes place, that is represented in second position. And how the different signal than original is given as output, that is shown. Some attenuation, some loss shown in this way. The optical fiber communication is the specific application for both of these cases. There are three parts of the system. The system consists of transmitter, optical fiber, path and receiver. Non-electrical input signal given to the transmitter through modulator, it converts into the laser light. This laser light is propagated through the optical fiber and it is given to the receiver. At the receiver there is photodetector or optical detector detects that data. The data is converted into the laser light that is propagated through the optical fiber. The data is detected at a receiver. It is demodulated in original form and given as output. This is very effective system of the optical fiber communication using laser light and optical fiber. Thank you.